From Kelowna in Canada, the latest from podnews.net with Spots Now. You've heard the show, now buy the shoe. New Heights is working with OluKai to bring a football-inspired design lens to a premium leather silhouette with all-star appeal, or what the Australians call a decent pair of thongs. We're told that the $160 shoes continue the company's tradition, merging premium materials with personality-driven design, and of course, you can buy them on Amazon. In Q1 26, 14% of Americans say they used Netflix to consume a podcast, and 4% say they used Tubi. The data from Edison Research Podcast Metrics US will only increase. Tubi announced a slew of new content this week, including shows from SiriusXM and AudioChuck, while Netflix's The Rest is Football is being heavily promoted ahead of the World Cup. The Edison Research Podcast Consumer 2026 was released in a webinar. That data shows that a majority of podcast consumers think that AI is a threat to the credibility, creativity, and quality of podcasts, and 75% disapprove of a voice hosted by AI. Using data from Sports Poll by SSRS, we also discover that US podcast consumers are more interested in the World Cup than the population as a whole. Got a great pitch for a sports podcast episode or series? CBC Podcasts is now accepting pitches for a new narrative sports feed, specifically looking for narrative-driven storytelling and particularly things around the Olympic Games. We're linked to where you can submit your ideas today in our show notes and our newsletter at podnews.net. US mobile operator TextNow has announced that they've added the iHeartRadio app to its free Flex experience. TextNow gives you a free mobile plan with selected apps 0 rated, including music and radio, but not podcasts from the iHeartRadio app. Ellis James and John Robbins spoke at South by Southwest London, highlighting how they've built a fiercely loyal community with their podcast and pointing out the pitfalls that come when adding video. 30 to 60% of new podcasts go quiet within a year, according to a new tool. Hello Engine says it's a new AI tool to help you get podcasting. The tool includes a free consultation, recommendations for gear, and a podcast host. And then it helps you with your content too. Got a few minutes? AIR's community survey will help them better understand the needs of the audio community and shape their advocacy priorities over the next 12 months. You don't have to be an AIR member to participate, and as a thank you for completing the survey, you'll get a discount code towards selected discounted AIR memberships or renewal. And the Galicia Podcast Summit is free in A Coruña in Spain on June the 17th. It's the 4th year for the event with 10 speakers. The event is free on registration. And in podcast news, a brand new podcast from Sonoro Podcast Network and LA Times Studio launches today. The De Los podcast will feature unfiltered conversations with Latino tastemakers across news, music and culture. Fascinated with Jackie Felgate is the first new podcast from Tapped Media, Australia's newest media company. Jackie Felgate is the drive host at 3AW, a radio station in Melbourne. It's not a show about Jackie Felgate and why we're all so fascinated with her. Instead, it's a show with Jackie Felgate talking to other people who she's fascinated in, like Wikipedia founder Jimmy Wales, Brooke Warren, reality TV star and book talk sensation Luke Bateman, and others. It's, quotes, available where listeners and viewers press play on their content. And Steven Spielberg is once again commanding Hollywood's attention with Disclosure Day. Timed to the film's release, Calaroga Shark Media is expanding its acclaimed Reloaded podcast series with Spielberg Reloaded. Steven Spielberg in 12 movies. Across 12 episodes, the series revisits Spielberg's most celebrated films, unpacking the artistry, innovation, and enduring cultural impact of a filmmaker whose work transformed the movie-going experience. And this podcast is sponsored by Spots Now. Spots Now is the AI operating system for podcast advertising, RFPs, vetting and outreach. Now you can handle them all with custom agents, enabling your sellers to close 30% more. Book a free demo at spotsnow.io/OS or use the link in the show notes. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe for free, we're at podnews.net.